Everybody, welcome back. Today we are learning about our second multiplication strategy called repeated addition. We kind of touched base on it a little bit last lesson with equal groups, but repeated addition goes hand in hand with equal groups. They actually go right alongside each other, so this is going to be a super duper easy lesson today, and I am just so excited for us to get into this together. So first of all, let's review. What is multiplication? Well, multiplication is where you add the same number together several times to get an answer. Just like we did here, 4 times 3 equals 12. You add 4 together 3 times. So that is basically what we're doing today. It's called repeated addition. Now, let's talk about some multiplication keywords. If my thing will load, there we go. All right, we've got factors and we've got a product. Our factors are the two numbers that we are multiplying together. So 4 times 3, both of those would be our factors. The answer to a multiplication problem is called a product. Everybody say product. All right, so we're going to do our chant. It goes, a factor times a factor equals a product. A factor times a factor equals a product. So what I want you to do is to clear the space around you, stand up if you want to, and we're going to do it together. On the count of 3, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. A factor times a factor equals a product. A factor times a factor equals a product. One more time. A factor times a factor equals a product. Awesome job, guys. It sounded great. So a factor is one of those things that you multiply together to get a product. Let's get into why we multiply. We multiply because it is a quicker way to add. So multiplication is just really a fancy version of adding. If you noticed, a times sign looks like this, looks like an X, and that's a multiplication sign, multiplication or times. But if you turn it, it looks like a plus sign. That's because multiplication is just adding a little bit differently. It's adding the same number multiple times repeatedly. If you repeat something, you'd say it again and again. If you repeat something, you say it again and again. If you repeat something, you say it again and again. If you repeat something, you say it again and again. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm repeating that, okay? So when we are doing repeated addition, you take one number and you repeat it however many times the second factor tells you to. So we are going to learn today about repeated addition. Now, this is what I want you to put inside of your brains. We have already learned how to do equal groups. The X says groups of. We are still doing equal groups today to get a picture so then we can add the groups together because that's how we're going to get repeated addition. So for 3 times 5, I still want you to draw your groups and do 3 circles, 3 groups, and then put 5 in each group, okay? Then, once you have that, you're going to simply add together the groups to get repeated addition. So for this, we have 5 in the first group plus 5 in the second group plus 5 in the third group. So you would have 3 5s, okay? It is important for you to realize that the first factor is not the one you're repeating. You're repeating the second factor. It gets confusing, so that's why I'm telling you, you need to draw a picture, okay? So for this, the repeated addition would be 5 plus 5 plus 5 because we drew 3 groups of 5. So if we add those groups together, we've got 5 plus 5 plus 5. That's what it needs to look like. You do need that plus symbol in there because it is repeated addition. So basically, multiplication is taking the number 5, adding it together 3 times to get an answer. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus another 5 is 15. There's your answer, 5 3 times. So it's a quicker way to add is what multiplication is. It's just a quicker way to add. So let's look at another example, if this will load. Hey, there we go. All right, so first of all, we have 2 times 7. I went ahead and I drew 2 groups of 7 because this is how we're going to figure out the repeated addition. So I put 2 groups, I drew 2 big circles, and I put 7 dots in each group. So my repeated addition, if we add those groups together, is just going to be 7 plus 7. So that is what it's going to look like because I've got 7 in this group plus 7 in the second group. Your repeated addition has to be the same number because if you repeat something, it has to be exactly the same. Okay? If you repeat something, it has to be exactly the same. Okay? If you repeat something, it has to be exactly the same. Okay? If you repeat it, it has to be the same. So hopefully you're getting my joke there. But for this, we have 2 groups of 7. So 7 and 7. 7 plus 7. That's our repeated addition. Let's try another one. 5 groups of 6 here. I drew 5 circles, 5 groups, and I put 6 in each group. So then I added those together. This is where it gets a little bit tricky because you want to make sure you have the right amount of 6s drawn. So we're going to add all those groups together. I've got 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. I should have 5 6s. 5 groups of 6, I should have 5 6s. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm good. If we were to add these together, these 6s, that is a quicker way for us to get our answer. Okay, multiplying them would be quicker than adding them all up. But this is basically what we're doing. Adding 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 more is 18, plus 6 more is 24, plus 6 more is 30. Okay, so our answer for this would be 30. Our next one, we're doing 3 times 6. That is 3 groups of 6. I drew 3 circles, 6 in each group, and then we add the groups together to get the repeated addition. Let me explain to you. This is what I want. I want today, when you're doing your assignments, I want you to get a piece of notebook paper and draw those groups out and then add the groups together. If you don't do that, you are going to get confused and you are going to choose the wrong answer. Okay? So go ahead. You cannot do repeated addition without doing groups. I want them together. I want they are married. They go together. The groups, repeated addition, don't separate them. Okay? So I'm telling you now, show your work, as always, but I want you to draw the groups and then add the groups together to make sure you're adding correctly and getting the right repeated addition. So for this one, it would be 6 plus 6 plus 6, because I've got 6 in each group. That means I should have 3 6s, which I have, so I'm good to go. All right. What about if I just have the repeated addition and they want me to find the multiplication sentence? It's a little bit harder. Nope, it's not. You're just doing the same thing but backwards. So if they give you the repeated addition instead of the multiplication sentence, this is what you're going to do. I have 4 plus 4 plus 4. What I want you to do is draw a group for each number. So you're going to draw one group and put 4 in that group. Draw a second group and put 4 in that group. Draw a third group and put 4 in that group. Okay, I want you to draw a picture, just like I've been saying. It's going to look like that after you draw it. Now you have a picture to look at to figure out the multiplication. So the first number would be how many groups there are. How many groups are there? There's 3 groups. So it'd be 3 times, how many is in each group? 4. So 3 times 4 equals 12. Now, you could think of it as this way. 3 groups of 12 or 3 times 4. 3 groups of 4 or 3 times 4 equals 12. 12 is our product. It's the total. Another way to think of this is there are 3 4s, so it'd be 3 times 4, okay? You could flip it to where it'd say 4 times 3, and you would still get the same product, but the model would be actually reversed. So that's why I'm saying for you to draw a picture instead of just saying, oh, well, it's 4 times 3. Technically, that would be right, but with a picture, that wouldn't be right, because it would be 4 groups of 3 instead of 3 groups of 4. It's a whole thing. So trust me when I'm telling you this is the easiest, most non-complicated way to do this. Draw a group with that many in it for each number. Count how many groups you have, 3 groups of 4, write it out, and then say, well, it's 3 times 4, okay? So let's try one more together. So for this, we have 3 9s. So I'm going to draw one group with 9 in it, another group with 9 in it, and a third group with 9 in it, okay? So it's going to look like this. And now I have a picture. I can figure out what multiplication sentence that is. My first factor is the number of groups. How many groups do I have there? 1, 2, 3. 3 groups of 9, or the X says groups of, so we could trade out groups of for X. 3 times 9 equals 27, because there's 27 dots. So 3 groups of 9 or 3 times 9 equals 27. Like I said, it gets really confusing if you don't draw a picture, because you want to put 9 times 3. because there's the number 9, and then there's 3 of them. So you would want to say 9 times 3. That's correct. Except the repeated addition would actually be, for that would be 3 plus 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 3. So what I'm saying is draw a picture so you get the right answer, because on your SOL test, they like to switch them up on you guys and try to confuse you. You're still going to get 27 if you draw 3 groups of 9 or 9 groups of 3, but the picture is going to look different. So you have to know what picture goes with what multiplication sentence. The picture here doesn't show 9 groups of 3. That would be 9 circles with 3 in them. It shows 3 groups of 9, so 3 times 9. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that explains it a little bit better. Basically, what I want you to do is draw your groups and then add the groups together to get repeated addition. That's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Good luck, guys, and I'm super proud of you for all the hard work that you're doing. Bye.